are the people that refuse to be feeble. I say, yeah, we
Hi, this is Will from Refuse to Be Feeble. Today I want to talk about chest development. And most of the time we think about chest as bench pressing. We bench press a lot of weight to go up. We come down, we bounce it, and we keep going up. But reality, there's two parts to the chest. There's your upper chest, and there's your, we call it lower chest. But really, when you're in bodybuilding, you have the upper, lower, and sometimes we try to say down here, even though this is actually the same muscle, but we hit it from different angles. When I was in France and I was a translator and there was the European Championships, one of the contestants came from France and we noticed that his left arm was basically non-usable. It was very small and he could not move it. However, in looking at his physique, he had the best chest development I'd ever seen. And so after the competition, I came to him and I said, you know, I just want to know, how is it that you got your chest looking so well when your left arm doesn't work? He goes, well, if you realize it, Will, your arms do not work the chest. I didn't understand what he was saying because you need to bench press and everything else. And so he explained to me, what is the motion of the arm in kinesiology? Or what is the motion of the chest in kinesiology? And the motion of it is when you contract the chest, it brings your arm across like this. Not this. If you notice the chest here, it moves. You contract, it moves. But here, there is no contraction. So when you're benching out wide, you have dumbbells, you're going everywhere, you're not getting any chest involvement. In reality, you should actually do this and you get more of a chest involvement. Still, I was wondering, how is it that he got this chest to develop when he didn't have an arm? He said his advantage was not using an arm. So the next day, we actually went to a gym. And he put a strap across his shoulder as he laid back. And on the other end of the strap was weight. And without using his arm, he did this laying on the bench. He contracted and opened, contracted and opened. I tried it and almost died. It was the hardest thing I ever done. But what he did was to show me, don't use the triceps, what most people do. It is not about the weight. You want the muscle to work on its own. So what you have to do is get rid of how much weight you're doing and build the impressive chest. And I remember when we were doing that, he never used more than a 35-pound weight. So we're going to use the close grip Nautilus bench press. But what I'm going to do is grab the wider. So here I'm sitting on a Nautilus close grip bench press. Here we're going to use the Nautilus close grip bench press. So I'm not going to use the narrow neutral. I'm actually going to use a regular press to show you what I'm talking about. So most of the time when people are using this, they go out. And then they do something like this. They come back. They bring their elbows back. But if you look at me from the side, what they're actually doing is this. Look what's happening. Their shoulder is getting impingement. Look what's happening to the chest. Nothing. When you work a muscle, it's like working taffy. To stretch it, you have to knead it. Stretch it, knead it, stretch, and you can stretch it far. So what you're trying to do actually is contract the chest, and then you want it to stretch. Now, how am I making my chest stretch? I'm not looking at the machine where the illustration says to bring your elbow back, because you can see there's no chest involved. I'm bringing my shoulder back, and the chest is stretching. Contract the chest, stretch it, contract it, stretch it, contract it, stretch it, and not push, bring it back, push, bring it back. So an example would be, instead of doing this, what you do is you sit here, and what I do is do like a 10 or 7 to 10 second contraction. Now, I'm not saying 7 to 10 seconds you actually count. I'm saying I have to hit 7 or 10 marks. Let's say I have to pick up 7 marks. As I tell my clients, pick up the kids on the school bus. So when you go, most people push and then they contract. What you do is, if you start to contract your chest, you notice the chest is moving and the weight isn't moving yet. So there's my first contraction, second, third. By the third contraction, it starts to move. Fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. I am fully contracted. If I did this at the end, I'm working triceps. So instead of going that, I contract into it and flex. Now, here's what we call the negative. This is the important part. Instead of letting the elbows just come back, those same 7 kids you picked up on the school bus, you need to take them home. And in doing that, what I want to do is not think of the weight in my hands going back. I want to think of the weight as if I had straps here. My chest pulls apart. So instead of going this, I'm going that. So an example would be, pick up the 7 kids. Now, let the chest open. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. My chest is fully stretched. If you look at my elbows from the side, I'm actually here. Not here, because if I go here, my chest stops stretching. It makes no sense to go back further because there's no stress in the chest. So this will be an example of a incorrect set, people. That is no chest activation. This is what I have my clients do. Contract, open the chest. Contract, open the chest. Contract, open the chest. And at no time am I pushing the weight at all. I'm letting the chest do the work. If my chest starts contracting here, I don't try to get to here because I can stay here all day. If you do that, you'll notice that you're not lifting as much weight. It is a lot harder to do, and your chest will fatigue. Remember, it's taffy. Contract the taffy. Stretch it. Contract it. Stretch it. As you get warmer, your stretch may only bring you to here, but then as you get warmer, your muscle will stretch even further. Don't force the stretch. Don't force the contraction. And don't do this. Think 7, but don't contract 7 at once. Like many people will do this. And then they do that, and guess what? You can't squeeze anymore. It has to contract into it. Contract into it. Contract into it. Another way I found that can make it easier to do this is when you're up here, you let your head drop, your chin drop as you stretch, and your head goes back as you contract. Stretch, contract, stretch, contract. Even if you're only moving to here, that's still a contraction and a stretch. Don't bounce out at the bottom. So this is a tip you can use for chest. You can use it on a regular chest press for the mid part of the chest of your lower, or you can use it on the incline for the upper. You can use it with dumbbells. Here at Better You Studios, we have a lot of machines. And the reason why I have a lot of machines is I don't have to worry about injury if someone fails, because with the machine, if they can't get any more, they're fine. So for those who say free weights are better, it doesn't matter. On this, it's just safety first. So remember, if you have any other questions, please feel free to contact us. Please don't hesitate to subscribe. And what we want to do is to use this channel to help further your goals, as well as teaching you ways to do things that are the correct way and not just bullshit to make you feel good. This is Will.
We are the people that refuse to be feeble. I said, yeah, we are the people that refuse to be feeble. I said, yeah, we are the people that refuse to be feeble. I said, yeah, we are the people that refuse to be feeble.